praise to Yahweh, Bahoshem Yahushai, Bahoshem Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. This is where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also Shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. Lord willing, I am of that number. All right. So we're going to now go into we're going to touch on a couple of articles. All right. But before we do this, let's get a couple of scriptures. All right. One in Ecclesiasticus chapter 12 and verse 10. All right. It reads, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness." Okay. Also, Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verses 16 and 17, they read, "An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee." Okay? Alright, so keep that in mind. And also, let's go to First Thessalonians chapter 5. Alright. And we'll start at 1. Keep in mind that we are in these last days. Alright. There is a time when you look on a watch or a clock, and there's what time it is when it comes to the scriptures. All right, the scriptures tell of prophecies, all right, and things that there are to look for. Okay. All right. As a matter of fact, hold on. All right, we're gonna go to Matthew 24 and Matthew 24, and I'm gonna start at verse 3. It reads, "And as he sat upon," let me see. All right, started. This is Matthew 24, and hold on a second. I'm pretty sure we'll go to let's start back here at Matthew, or excuse me, Matthew 24 and start at verse 3. Matthew 24 and 3. It reads, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying that, or excuse me, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines, and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you. And ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Iniquity is sin upon sin. Okay? Matthew 24 and 13, but he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Okay? All right? And we are in these times. All right? Now let's go here to, hold on. Man. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 1 now, okay? It says, But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. All right, so not only are these people, all right, the wicked, going to be saying peace and safety as far as their technology is concerned, but they're going to have most of the people repeating the things that they say. All right, everything is all right, peace and safety. Okay. All right, let's read on. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night, nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. We pay attention to what the Lord tells us is going on in these scriptures yesterday, today, and tomorrow. All right, we are sober. We're not drunk. We're not taken by these other philosophies, these cunningly devised fables. All right, we're not taken by any of this anymore. All right, we have been awakened. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 7, for they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. Okay? All right, this is what we're doing in this day. Okay? All right? Okay? So, let's go ahead and read this article. One thing I didn't touch on in the last video, right, is the and he, to be more specific, just to be one more step specific, are the banking families. All right, the elite of Esau Edom. All right, it's not about money for them. It is most definitely about control. All right, about cutting us, Israel, off from our power. Let's go to Psalm 83 really quick. All right, the heading reads, God implored to confound his enemies. Okay. Psalm 83 and 1, it says, a song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Okay? For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. Then it goes on to read or name our enemies. I will read verse 6 of Psalm 83 because it names the top. All right, but then it goes on to name more underneath this. All right, but it says the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes. Okay, so this is what it's about, man. Okay, they want to separate us from our power, and that starts with the image and the name. Okay, and there's a lot that comes along with his name. His name is a strong tower. Let's get that really quick. Proverbs 18 and verse 10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Okay? That's the point. All right? That is the point. All right. So let's go ahead and get this article. First, I want to start here. This article is called What is the Fourth Industrial Revolution? All right. We're making it a point to read this before reading about certain technologies because you have to understand what the mission of these people are. All right. And it goes right along with, and my leg is, goes right along with what this prophecy says is going to happen. All right. So let's go ahead and read some of this again. This is from January 19th of 2016. And it's titled, What is the Fourth Industrial Revolution? Okay. it shows a picture. I didn't even read this picture, but let's read this really quick. It says, the caption on the picture says, a new era is beginning that builds and extends the impact of digitization in unanticipated ways. That's bullshit. The Lord told us what to anticipate. All right, what to look for. All right, so the ones in the light aren't taken surprise by this, man. Okay. So it reads, are the technologies that surround us tools that we can identify, grasp, and consciously use to improve our lives? Or are they more than that? Powerful objects and enablers that influence our perception of the world, change our behavior, and affect what it means to be human. Now, what we listen for in these articles are peace, safety, convenience, words to trust them. Like, for instance, they'll point out maybe like 100 positives about the technology and then one little simple negative. And then not too long after that, they'll fix the negative, all right? Or they'll try to make the negative minuscule, right? But you won't hear anything where they tell you to consider the Lord, okay? All right? So just keep your ears open for that. And there's going to be a lot of big words, okay? A lot of big words, okay? But then the things that you can understand will point to, all right, what the Lord says is true and faithful. This prophecy is going to come to pass. Now, whether they do a baby step or push this thing right onto the main stage, we don't know exactly if they're going to take a baby step or if they're going to do that. But the one thing we do know is that this prophecy is coming. And we know what that mark is. All right. They may play around and try to act like they're going a different route, but it's going to come right back to this prophecy. That's the point. All right. So it goes on to read, technologies are emerging and affecting our lives in ways that indicate we are at the beginning of a fourth industrial revolution, a new era that builds and extends the impact of digitization in new and unanticipated ways. It is therefore worthwhile taking some time. Hold on. It is therefore worthwhile taking some time to consider exactly what kind of shifts we are experiencing and how we might collectively and individually ensure that it creates benefits for the many rather than the few. You believe that? Man. All right. So it says, when were the other industrial revolutions? It says the first industrial revolution is widely taken to be the shift from our reliance on animals, human effort, and biomass as primary sources of energy to the use of fossil fuels and the mechanical power this enabled. The second industrial revolution occurred between the end of the 19th century and the first 2 decades of the 20th century and brought major breakthroughs in the form of electricity distribution, both wireless and wired communication, the synthesis of ammonia, and new forms of power generation. The third industrial revolution began in the 1950s when the development of digital systems, communication, and rapid advances in computing power, which have enabled new ways of generating, processing, and sharing information. All right, there's a graph right here. The heading of the graph reads Navigating the Next Industrial Revolution. All right. It says Revolution 1, the year 1974, and it says steam, water, mechanical production equipment. Revolution number 2 says 1870. It says division of labor, electricity, and mass production. Revolution 3 says 1969, electronics, IT, automated production. Revolution number 4 has a question mark, all right, for the year. And it says cyber physical systems, cyber-physical, all right. I'm only going to read a little bit more into this article, then we'll switch to reading about a certain piece of, another article on technologies of 2025. It reads, the fourth industrial revolution can be described as the advent of, quote, cyber physical systems, end quote. The involving entirely new capabilities for people and machines. While these capabilities are reliant on technologies and infrastructure of the third industrial revolution, the fourth industrial revolution represents entirely new ways in which technology becomes embedded within societies and even our human bodies. Examples include genome editing, new forms of machine intelligence, breakthrough materials, and approaches to governance that rely on cryptographic methods such as the blockchain. Right? It says, as the novelist William Gibson famously said, quote, the future is already here. It's just not very evenly distributed, end quote. Okay, I'm not going to read any more of this article, but we will go to this next one. All right, again, this article is from January 13th of 2025. And the title is 2025 Predictions. Which trends are set to shape the biotech industry this year? All right. So let's go ahead down here to where we left off. This part of the article is called GLP-1 drugs. Still an attractive proposition to biotechs, but challenges will mount. Okay. It reads, since their approval, GLP-1 drugs, let me see what this is. All right, it sounds like it goes into what CRISPR is going to be used for, but we'll read about that some other time. Let's just go ahead and listen to how advanced their technology is getting, okay? So since their approval, GLP-1 drugs have been a hot topic in the biotech industry. Despite the competition, startups and big pharma are still looking to create a better version of this drug class than blockbusters Wegovy and Zepbound. All right. Something else I didn't mention is, this micro C-hip. They're sooner or later, all these things are going to combine, and they're going to say it'll make you, I don't know, superhuman. They could say anything. All right. But if you know what CRISPR is, and you combine it with blind sight, then you combine it with the micro C-hip in the hand and the head. All right. These things are going to be talked up, man. All right. Man. Anyway, Last year, the demand for GLP-1 drugs led to widespread stock shortages, which is expected to continue to be an issue in 2025. Vice President of Product Management um, at Model N told Labiotech that there will be ongoing tensions between branded manufacturers and compounding pharmacies, which have been in the news lately due to reports of some of them marketing and selling in demand weight loss drugs due to the branded drugs not being commercially available. Sounds like they're more uh, worried about money, all right, than making people healthy, all right. This is what it sounds like. I don't know. It says when a drug like I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to read all of this. Uh, I'll read it. All right. It says when a drug like terzepatide is no longer on the shortage list, those taking compounded versions legally can no longer access that version and must try to get prescriptions for the branded drug. This could reignite the shortage. Additionally, we should be prepared for more issues like contamination related to substandard compounded versions, potentially leading to a consumer backlash against compounding pharmacies. An article in Fierce Pharma, however, forecasts that there won't be as many shortage issues in 2025 as both Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly have poured billions of dollars into capacity expansions and have recently managed to largely erase their GLP-1 drugs from the U.S. Food and Administration online shortage roster. But in line with what Fierce Pharma points out, that analysts at consulting and technology firm ZS believe that there could indeed be a showdown with the compounding pharmacies that helped provide patients with a consistent supply of GLP-1 drugs when Novo and Lilly were facing shortages. I'm gonna read this, man, but they're just putting a lot of words out here, man. I'm not gonna read any more of this. All right, let me look at something really quick. All right, I wanted to. Okay, let me see where I was. We're gonna stop reading on that point. All right, down at the bottom of this, they just boast on how much money they get in funding. All right. Let me see something really quick. All right, yeah. I think this is gonna be the last video with this article. All right, because really, we want to be reading things that talk to more of this people's mentality. All right, the wicked. All right, Esau Edom, talking about peace and safety, building up this technology to make you ready, so that they can institute. So let's you know what? Let me check this time. Yeah, this video, a lot of this reading, man, I don't know. We just have to do better at finding this information, all right? Because they put a lot of things out here that just spew out these big words, and that's that, all right? So we'll get back to searching up simple things. I thought these were going to be really simple informational things, all right? So maybe I'll have to read these before I turn this camera on. I don't know. That was kinda, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. All right. We have to find more things about this technology. Let me see. Uh, Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. All right, yeah, we'll look up more technologies on this thing. I apologize for the all of that reading without um, really too much reference to scriptures, except for in the beginning. All right, just remember, never trust thine enemy. All right, they're up to something. All right, this prophecy is going to come to pass, and I have to take my own advice and ask the right questions in these search engines because these people are getting more slick. All right. Also, at the same time, they are putting the stuff out here to get people used to um, seeing these technologies in a positive light. All right, I just have to do my do better at exercising my own due diligence at what to look for, so that I can present it to you um, during these videos. All right. So with that, all right, we'll do better at this, Lord willing. Okay. The next video. All right. So with that, call halal Yahweh, Baha Shem Yahweh Shai, Baha Shem Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to my elders, apostles, and the bishops of Great Millstone, or GMS for short. This is where I have learned this truth and where I am still learning this truth. And also shalom to the remnant and the elect of Israel. All right, Lord willing, I'm of that number, and Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video. Shalom.